Well folks, I'm back. I'm a little bit embarrassed. I just got done filming a whole video about this tool. I unboxed it and I did a field test here. I did a bunch of work with it, and at the end of the video I realized I wasn't even filming. So let's get back at it. I'm going to put this thing back in the box, and I'm going to show you briefly what comes in the box. So the first thing I pulled out of the box was an owner's manual, and there was a little bag, and in the bag there was a screw and there was a hook. Okay, and I installed that hook, and that hook goes so that you can put this thing on your waist belt and it'll hang there. So when you're climbing up and down ladders and things like that, you're not going to drop this tool. Now this is the Makita model FD06Z. This is a 12 volt CXT line 1/4 inch hex driver / drill. Now I'm going to read the box a little bit to you. It says this is the tool only because this is the Z model, 12 volt CXT battery lineup. Okay, so this is a 1.5 amp hour battery, BL1016. This is the battery that'll fit in this tool. Now you've probably seen before, I did the video on the drill and the impact driver. Remember that? I did a giveaway with one of these. So this thing, if you compare it to the drill, it's very similar. There's a lot of similarities. If you look at low range on the drill, it's 0 to 450 RPMs. Okay, that's on low, on number 1. And if you put it up to 2 on high, it's 0 to 1700 RPMs. Now that is identical with this tool. The only difference between this tool and the drill driver, this is a drill driver too, it just doesn't have that chuck. Okay, if you look at from here forward, it's pretty much the same thing. It's got the chuck, it's got the, it's got the clutch, I meant to say. It's got the collar. The only difference is it has a 1/4 inch hex style bit holder, very much the same as the impact driver has. Now if you compare this to the impact driver in size, it's very similar in size. Okay, the weight is almost the same, the size is almost the same. It's a very compact unit. Now the impact driver goes much faster. So I'm going to put a battery in this tool, and I'm going to show you what some of the things that you can do with it. Okay, that battery must be dead. This battery is dead to the world. There, we got a new fresh battery. This happens to be an aftermarket battery, so we're going to use that in the test today. So I have here on the floor in front of my feet, I have a couple 2x4s. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a few little tasks using this drill driver. But before I do that, I want to talk about some of the specs of this tool. My apology for keep moving the camera around. I'm sorry about that. This has a Makita built motor, delivers 250 inch-pounds of torque. That's pretty cool. Variable speed, 2-speed transmission. First gear, again, 0 to 450. And second range, which is high, 0 to 1700 rounds per minute. It has a LED light built in, and it's an ergonomic handle, it says here, and it says compact, only 6 3/16 inch. I'm guessing that that's the length here, and it weighs 2.1 pounds. And I can't really read everything else because they put this lovely sticker in the way. So this is it. Again, model FD06 by Makita. This continues the CXT lineup. So down here, again, you can see that I have a couple pieces of wood. Now let's talk about the drill feature. The drill feature I'm going to start with a 1-inch spade bit. Now to insert the bit, you just pull the collar forward and push the bit all the way in and then let the collar back. This will install the bit. So let's go ahead and let's drill a 1-inch spade bit. I've got this in high range, and let's see how it performs. It's actually performing very well. So if you needed to, there's the hole on the back side right there where it's coming through. If you needed to run a couple 1-inch holes, if you're up in the attic and you need to run some Romex through you know, your top cap or something, you could do that with this. It's a very light tool. I noticed it got hung up there. That has nothing to do with this tool. Every tool that runs a spade bit will get hung up like that. So that's nothing special for this one. So again, we just ran a 1-inch spade bit. Let's do another one and see how it does. Let's try it right here. No problem. There's the hole on the back side. I come through on the back side usually because it makes a nice clean hole. And there we go. There's 2 1-inch spade bit holes. I'm curious if this thing will run a little bit larger bit. Let's try a 1.5-inch spade bit. So I've already drilled 2 holes with this tool. Let's try 1.5 and see how that performs. Should I try it in high range? Yeah, why not? Now I will say that even though I'm doing these tasks, this tool is not really designed to be drilling these big old bore holes like this. I'm just doing this as a test, just for the video. My main purpose in drilling these is just to demonstrate that this tool is capable of running these holes. Wouldn't be like it wouldn't be my first choice by any means to do this task, but I wouldn't not grab it if I needed to do it. So there we go. We just drilled an 1.5-inch spade bit through pine. That tool's pretty strong. So that's the drilling option. Some of the other drilling option that you can do with this tool that I find very, very interesting is you can use a countersink bit. The reason you would want a countersink bit was because if you wanted to put these screws, let's say for example you want to take these screws and you want to run them through this piece of wood into this other piece of wood. Well, the screws, if you were to just run the screws down, you would have a very good chance of splitting this wood. So it's important to drill a countersink hole so that we can do that. So what I'm going to do for this demo is I'm going to connect these 2 pieces of wood to each other. So to do that, I'm going to drill these countersink holes right here. Look at how good of a job it does. So right now I'm drilling. I don't even think I have that many screws with me. So I've drilled all these countersink holes, and then I could very easily switch out this bit, take that out, and put in my Phillips bit holder with whatever bit I choose to put in there with my bit. So we could do something like that. So now, if we wanted to run the screws down, we have a clutch here that we could adjust, and this number is dependent on how much torque we want. So if we start the clutch at 10, for example, the drill driver will clutch out when it gets to that amount of torque. See that? So then you need more power, you go up in the number, and it'll give you a little more, and then you can kind of fine tune how deep or how much torque this tool is providing. See there? We're in 16. Let's go up to 18. See if we can get these screws to go through. I'm putting my knee on the top of the tool here to try to give it more downward force. So now our clutch is totally stopped at the hole. So let's go all the way up to the drill. We'll put this thing in low range and we'll bury this screw. See how nice that was? Now if you want to leave it in low range, leave it in the drilling function and go over here, for example, slide the collar down. Even if we have the collar up, you can see with that kind of torque, the tool has plenty of power to do that. Let me zoom in and show you that a little bit better. Let's get one more screw. Let's see. Let's go right here on this hole. So let's take a look. Let's watch this in action. I'm in low range. I wonder if we can do that in high range. I have one more screw here. Let's try this hole here. It kind of stops when it gets to the top here. It doesn't want to drill past the countersink. So I put it back in low. It's got plenty of power to sink that screw down into that piece of wood. This drill again has 250 inch-pounds of torque. That's a pretty powerful little drill driver. I still have plenty of power in my battery, and you saw that I was doing some spade bit work a second ago, but you could also find some kits such as these. Let's see, not that one, but such as this that has all these assorted drill bits. Now these drill bits won't work because they're rounded or tapered at the bottom, but what you could do is you could find, and just about every major power tool manufacturer makes a set that has the 1/4 inch hex drive on these drill bits. So you could find a whole set of drill bits just like this that you could use with this tool. You just got to go find the right ones. Another thing that you can do with this tool is you can very easily run any bit that's in here. You've got your nut setters, you've got extended, what is this, a Phillips number 2, this is like a T25, you got an extension, you've got torques, you've got squares, Phillips 1, 2, and 3, flatheads, all your different torques and squares. So this tool can run all of these, and if you had the right drill bits, you could run all of those as well. Now if you wanted to just pop in like maybe a little 1 inch drywall type screw, I don't even think you need to do anything but put the bit in. So let's get this bit in the tool, get the bit here. So we're going to start there, pull the collar forward, push the bit in, and then the collar comes back on its own. Let's go to high range. Let's use our clutch, maybe around 10 or so, and we'll start it right there and see how it does. There we go, it clutched out. Let's say we want to go a little deeper, go to 12. A little more, let's go to 14 right there. So you could really get a nice flush mount on something like that. That's a 1-inch screw straight into wood, solid wood. Now you can do a lot of those same drilling type tasks with an impact driver. It works good. And you can obviously do them with your drill. You can drive or drill with your drill. But this tool, I like it because it's very, you know, another thing I noticed is if you compare the LED lights, if I'm gonna look, let's say for example, this little hole right here where my bit is, if I light that up, look at the amount of light that I get with this is the drill. Just a regular CXT drill. That's the light that I'm going to be getting. You notice over in this area there's no light. If I do the same thing with the impact driver, same bit, okay, put the same bit in the same hole, turn on the light, I get a little bit of light up here. Okay, now if I take that same bit, put it in this drill driver, same bit, same hole, look at the light. I got a lot of light. Plenty of illumination here. This is just a really good tool. Again, this is the model FD06. I like it. I think it's a good addition to the CXT lineup by Makita. Folks, I want to say thank you for joining me on this video today. I hope you got some good, useful information. Look at all the work we did. I mean, we put these two pieces together. And if I wanted to bury that screw a little more, I could. I just need to go down, put it in the back in one, it's got a little more torque. Let's adjust our clutch accordingly. Let's go up to 18. Not enough. Go all the way up to the drill. This bypasses the clutch and it'll give you full power. Looks like my head is stripped on this, but you can still get the point. We can run these tools. I got these two pieces sturdy together, so if I'm building a bench, kind of like something that you see behind me, or if I'm going to be drilling any holes like this, anything that you see in this video today that I did testing this tool, you can clearly see that it'll handle a lot of tasks. And all those drill bits, 1/2 inch all the way down to 1/8 inch or 1/16 of an inch, if you can find a set with those that has the 1/4 inch drive, you can easily put those in this tool and turn it into a drill. You can drill, and it's a good fast RPM. It's 1700 RPMs. Now, I would not suggest drilling with an impact driver, because if that drill bit gets hung, it's going to impact and you have a chance that you could break your drill bit at that point. And that would be bad. We don't want to do that, right? Another thing that's cool about these tools is they sit on end. Just like that. Batteries, they sit right there on end. So if you set it down on the job site, wherever you are, the tools sit there on their own. They don't move around. And I think that's a pretty cool feature. I think I want to drill another big old hole. 1.5. I'm going to go in low range. That screw's in the way. Let me pull that screw out. I'll use my impact driver to do that. This battery's dead. Let's go right here. Okay. Let's go ahead and start right there where we were. Right there. I'm going to try to drill a 1.5 hole in low range with this tool. And obviously you can see that we're going through 2 different 2x4s. Just chewing it away, chewing it up real good. We're through the first 2x4, we're starting into the second one. There's our hole in the bottom where we've came through. Wow, that's pretty impressive. So we just went through 2 2x4s, 1.5 in low range with this model FD06. This thing is quite a performer, and my battery's starting to run out on me, so I have 1 screw left. I've got a little 1-inch screw, and what I want to do is I want to create a pilot hole real quick. I already have one there, but I want to make a new one. Let's say I want to go right here. And let's shake off the sawdust. Let's say, for example, I want to clutch that screw out. So we'll adjust our clutch collar. Let's go to about 8. Let's give it a nice Phillips bit here. We're still in low range. And let's run this screw down and see how that clutch works. Okay, there we go. We want to go a little deeper. Let's go to 12. There we go. So we got a nice penetration of that screw. Another good thing about this this drill driver that you can do with the clutch setting is you can put it down to a very low setting, like on 1. Okay, I'm on 1. We can go high or low. Let's say, for example, you're going to be doing a little bit of electrical. You want to put in an outlet or something. So you want to make a connection. So I'm going to strip my wire. Make me a little hook on the end. Okay, so now I have a hook on my wire, and I'm going to hook my outlet here. And with this clutch on 1, on the lowest setting, I can very easily come right here and tighten up my electrical outlet. Okay, so I can do all those kind of cool things like that with this tool. It's a great little tool. I really like this drill driver. I think I'm going to use it a lot. I'm gonna use it a lot for probably driving and drilling, you know, countersinking. I think the countersink bit is one of my favorite bits to use, and I think it's gonna get along really good with this little tool. And obviously you've seen, you know, we can do electrical type stuff, and it didn't strip out that electrical outlet. We drilled all kinds of holes and put plenty of screws in, and that's a great tool. You know, we went through 2 layers of 2x4 material, and then we, I mean, 2.5-inch holes, 2 1-inch holes. You know, there's plenty of work that we got done with this tool. I really like it. You know, and I'm a big LXT fan. I mean, if you look behind me on my bench, you can see back there I have all kinds of Makita LXT tools, 18-volt lineup. Those are excellent tools. This is the CXT line, again, model FD06. It's a good tool. Please check the description box down below. I'll put links to where you can find this. Look at all those countersink bit holes. That's pretty crazy. This thing just runs great. You could run spade bits like this. They have the 1/4-inch drive on the bottom. You could run these Bosch spade bits. They have the 1/4-inch drive on the bottom. So there's some examples. And then the same thing with drill bits. So again, folks, I want to say thanks for joining me. I know I said that a second ago. I hope you got some good, useful information out of this video. Please feel free to leave your comments down below, like this video, share this video, and if you like the type of content that you see on my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you. And until next time, have a beautiful day, and I highly recommend looking into this CXT lineup. They're very good tools by Makita. We'll talk at you later. Bye-bye.